Honda and Acura have dropped their plans for 2024, and today we're just going to go over the press release and discuss what they're up to. I'll make more detailed videos on specific vehicles coming up after this one too. So the press release starts out by talking about their sales. And long story short, sales are up 33%, but I'm going to skip the rest because I mostly care about the sausages and not how much the sausages are selling. So let's start with Acura. Acura will begin sales of the ZDX early in 2024. Customers can place a transaction 100% online through a new omni-channel retail experience. Customers can begin placing their orders for the new ZDX starting on February. So based on what the press release is saying, Acura is going to be moving to more of a Tesla model in terms of purchasing. I'm sure that each dealer will have a few for test driving. Otherwise, that wouldn't be a smart business decision because you have an established dealer network already. Another thing to consider is that not everyone will take delivery of their ZDXs. So even if they order them, I'm sure there'll be a few that you could go and pick up at your local dealership. But hopefully Acura elaborates more on that in the future. Acura also revealed the price of the ZDX, and it ranges from $64,500 for the A-Spec to $74,500 for the Type S version, which is actually more expensive than the Lyriq that it is based on. Personally, I think it's dead on arrival, but I'll dive into more of my thoughts in maybe a couple separate videos, especially after the specific packaging and features for each trim comes out. The MDX SUV will receive some new changes, including styling changes. You are replacing the ELS Studio 3D for the Bang & Olufsen premium audio. And I think that it'll probably retain the same speaker count of 16 speakers, just with the Bang & Olufsen branded ones in the same places as the ELS. The infotainment will get Google built in, along with dropping its touchpad for a new touchscreen driver interface with a more usable center console. These changes should have probably been featured on the newly refreshed TLX, which is unfortunate. It also receives updates to the Acura Watch system. We know that Acura improved their safety systems, starting with the TLX with the new single lens sensor camera. That one is supposed to have a wider 90-degree field of view, which is going to be up from 50 degrees. And there's also going to be a new grill-mounted millimeter radar wave behind the Acura logo with a wider 120-degree field of view, which is going to be up from 50 as well. The RDX will, quote, receive upgrades to enhance its appeal and functionality. Personally, I think it could use a full redesign. It's kind of that time. It's been on the market for about 6 years now, and it's just looking a little bit long in the tooth, in my opinion. Hopefully, they can give it the same updates that the MDX gets, which would be nice. An all-new Acura crossover will debut later this year, positioned at the gateway of the lineup alongside the Integra. I think this will be a nicer Honda HR-V, which is an SUV version of a Civic. So basically, you can think of this as an SUV version of the Integra, and I'll make a video on this too. So moving over to the Honda side of things, Honda says that they'll begin sales of 2 zero-emission vehicles in 2024. The all-new Prologue, which is based on the Blazer and has a pretty similar interior to the ZDX, if you've seen that. The second vehicle is going to be the CR-V fuel cell, which is a plug-in hybrid. This one isn't really that important in the grand scheme of things because it's hydrogen and it'll be sold in California only. Speaking of California, Honda will focus sales of the Prologue in California along with other markets such as Texas and Florida. A nationwide rollout will follow that initial allocation. The Honda Prologue prices were revealed. It should start about $48,800 and it'll go all the way up to $59,300. It's going to have a combination of front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive powertrains. It's a little bit expensive still, in my opinion, for what it is and the power it's offering. It's a lot more reasonable than the ZDX price. I'll likely make an updated video once the full packaging and features of each specific trim are revealed, like the ZDX. Because they don't give a specific date, I'm thinking it'll go on sale after the ZDX. It seems like they can likely be having some production issues if they're going to target specific markets first. And it doesn't seem like they'll be adopting the same purchasing model as the ZDX. I think that the Prologue will be a little more widespread. The Civic lineup will receive some styling and feature enhancements for the 2025 model year, including the addition of the Civic Hybrid, both for the sedan and the hatchback models. The Civic Hybrid will comprise about 40% of the model sales when it launches in summer. For the sake of time, I'll make a separate video detailing my thoughts on this. Also, they mentioned featured enhancements, so surely they'll be adding some of these features to the Integra, right? I don't think it'll be anything too groundbreaking. It'll probably be something like the addition of Google built-in to their infotainment system. Maybe the 9-inch infotainment system might go on lower trims, and the upper tier, and just some other upper tier features in the lower trims as well. Also, put some heated seats and some dual zone climate in the Civic Si, please. The Odyssey will also receive some styling and technology enhancements to maintain its competitiveness, as Honda says. So this probably means like the Accord's infotainment system. Maybe they'll update the V6 engine to the same one that was received in the newest Pilot redesign. Speaking of the Pilot, Honda has said nothing on the Honda Passport receiving a new design, which doesn't make sense because the Passport is essentially just a shorter Pilot. You would think it would be something easier to just push out there onto the market. Honda has also revealed two new electric concepts at CES, one being a saloon and the other is called the Space Hub. This will be Honda's first electric vehicle on Honda's own platform, and it'll be based on the saloon concept, and that will be revealed in 2026. These will be manufactured at Honda's EV hub in Ohio, and Honda has already started preparation for production. And there you have it. All of Honda's plans for 2024. It was a lot of information, so tell me what you think right below that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.